Good morning, everybody. This is Kyle. Happy Hype Hump Day today. I hope you guys are having a great week so far, and I hope that you guys are praying to finish strong. So today, my topic, I kind of thought about it honestly on the way to work right now. Sorry for my voice. I'm just getting over a cold right now. Um, but when I was driving to work today, there was like a fog that you maybe see like 4 or 5 car lengths in front of you. And this made me think of uncertainty in life and, in what you're doing in your career, what your plans are, your ambitions, and everything else. And there's always going to be uncertainty. Nothing is ever guaranteed. Even if, you've been working hard and you apply for, a new position or what have you, it's never a guarantee that that is going to happen for you. You can work your hardest and make it, try your hardest to make that happen. But, it's not always going to be a guarantee. So one thing, some of us are impatient. I'm really bad for this. And the best example I have is when I was driving this morning, is getting stuck behind a train. You know, Whenever I get behind a train in traffic, I am like jumping out of my seat, like wondering when this thing's going to end, like so eager to get past it, and looking and trying to eyeball, especially today, I couldn't see the end of the train at all. But, I always am looking and, bobbing and weaving to see where this train is, even though like deep down, it doesn't matter because that train's going to be as long as that train is. And, there's no secret to bypassing these things. And, you can work harder and you can have really great examples of what you do in your career and everything else. But it takes as long as it takes. There's a quote that says, it takes 21 years to be 21. There's no way around that. Don't get me wrong, what you choose to do with your time is the most important thing, which is, I think I talked about one of my other videos is why I don't really like the term seniority at a company because, it's great that you put it in time and it does show that you're loyal. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to discredit people's hard work over those years. But, if someone here has 5 years tenure and, they've just kind of coasted by versus someone who maybe has a year tenure and they've, busted their ass and worked their way to get where they are and learn everything they possibly can for their position. I mean, there's definitely some weight in that as well. So the only point I'm trying to get at. So I like to look at uncertainty as, I used to let it bother me. I used to let, couple things. I used to let, what other people would tell me, if someone was like, I'd be like, yeah, I'm really going for this thing. They'd be like, you know what, man, I don't think you're going to get it. Or like, they would give their opinions or whatever, whether they were positive or negative. And I used to put a lot of stock into that. And, that would be sort of, almost a bad thing just because, when you put so much stock in other people's words, you know, Inky Johnson's, I think it's his grandmother, that had this quote where it says, "Never let someone's opinion or version of you, their version of you, define your like reality." So like, don't let somebody else discredit you, and like before you even get to that point. So that's one thing is not putting stock in everybody else's hype. I believe you have to have stock in your own hype for sure. Which again kind of sounds almost a little counterintuitive, but having stock in your own hype to a believable point. Like, you should always go into everything you do thinking you're the best. But like, if you're struggling, like, don't be going out and like, having this expectation that be like, I'm just learning this, I'm guaranteed, I'm totally going to get this job. Like, I've earned it. So yeah, being realistic. Another thing is knowing you can only control what you can control. So, looking in my scenario today where I'm driving to work, I can only see 4 to 5 car lengths ahead of me. So that's what I can control, right? I can see those cars that are in front of me. I can move around them. I can, brake as I need. I can get past somebody if I need. I can see what they are doing. But past that, I have no other control. I can't, if there was a traffic jam, I couldn't control what's happening. Traffic light goes out. Yesterday when I was in traffic, there was construction on one side and, I went further down, and I was actually got mad, and because I always felt like I was running a bit late for work, and I was almost screaming at traffic that I was like, how are people braking when it's a green light? Little did I know when I got further down that I saw that there was a traffic light out. So I'm like, and again, you can only control what you can control. So in that moment, I could have tried to reroute, and go a different direction. Probably wouldn't have done me very good. But that's my point, is that chunk of what you can control is the most important, because that's what you have to work with. Trying to change anything else outside of that box is just, it's not going to get you anywhere. And I talked about this, I think, in my last video, is that one important thing is that when you're going for your dreams, whether it be, you're starting your own business, whether it be, a new project you want to pursue, what have you, there will always be people who, will talk about it, give you criticism, feedback, whether it be good or bad, for both of those. And the important thing to note is that when you're doing that, there's going to be a point where even if they try to talk you out of it, or even if you are just kind of like, you're not 100%, like you're pretty sure, but you're not that 100% there's always going to be a leap of faith. And again, I talked about this before, but when I was in retail, I quit my job, which again it sounds crazy, and maybe it was, but like what I need to do is I need to disrupt things. You know what I mean? And I disrupted things, and I mean, yeah, it played out for me. It may not play out that way for everybody, but I knew deep down that like if I left and had nothing lined up, and didn't know where I was going to go, I actually didn't even I had like a whole bunch of skills like hydraulics and all of these things that like to do with like power tools and stuff. Like I had all of that knowledge and like pressure washers, but I didn't look for anything that had those. Like I was looking for I went into the job market looking and being like, what would I love to do? And, I did that, and then didn't really look necessarily for a specific skill set of any kind. I got lucky in that scenario. So for sure, it's not going to pan out it's not going to pan out that way for everybody. So again, just like uncertainty, it's not something you can really control. A leap of faith is important because, I feel that life will always test you, on how bad you want things. If you are going to pursue something, like say you start a business, you're going to take that leap of faith because you're starting it. It's not, by no means is that an easy task at all. Life is going to test you, and it's going to throw obstacles in your way that are going to, you're going to have to overcome, and it's going to, really push you to see how bad you really want it. So that is my, I guess, biggest lesson to everybody, is that, know that there's that leap of faith, but also, don't be so eager to jump either. Know and be confident in your dreams. I have a plaque on my desk, and it's sad that it's on my desk and I don't remember the exact quote, but it's something along the lines of, go confidently in the direction of your dreams. And, I set my mind on something, I'm learning, I'm doing whatever I can, even this, like I've talked about this for doing these videos for, I don't even know, like months, like before I even started this job, and I've been at this job for like 8 months. And, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. But, again, eventually I was like, you know what, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. I'm going to act on it. I'm going to make sure I keep at it. And I kept focused on it. If there were things I was struggling in, I would go and be like, okay, this is what I'm struggling in. This is what I need to learn to make this better. And then just doing it. So, like very much in my own role, like I take right now, when I get here in the morning, I usually go to the gym for a bit, shower, get ready for the day here. And then, I go and spend an hour of self-development, whatever it be, like, reading articles, YouTube videos, like I just finished all of my like Google AdWords and analytics certifications. I think next I'm going to really focus on like some JavaScript stuff, because it's, tech stuff is a little bit on my weak side. But it's important that, if you are in that position and, you feel uncertain in your career, but you can see that there's steps there that, that are within that realm of your control, then you need to take those steps. But that's going to wrap it up for here today. Hope you guys are enjoying these videos. If you do, please, like and subscribe, all that jazz. If going to be trying to pump these videos out, at least a couple a week. Yeah, have a great Wednesday, guys. Stay strong.